welcome back to The Raid. I'm your host, Logan. I'm here with Alex and Paris. We got a good show ahead of us today. We got some NBA, NFL, and MLB talk waiting for you. All right. Welcome back, everybody. I am your host, Logan. I'm here with Alex.
How we doing?
And I'm here with Paris.
Hey, I'm good.
Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. So, off the bat, the Niners take down the Lions in the NFC Championship, and the Chiefs take down the Ravens. So, early Super Bowl predictions. Paris, what do you got?
I'm going with the 49ers, the San Francisco 49ers. I just hate the Chiefs, so that's number one. And also, I just think the 49ers have a more complete team. I mean, the Chiefs' offense has kind of come alive in the past two games, but I feel like eventually they have to come back down to earth.
Right. What about you, Alex?
Well, my original pick was the 49ers, but after seeing Kansas City beat Josh Allen and Lamar on the road, it's kind of hard to pick against them. So I'd say the Chiefs win in a high-scoring game like 31-28.
So I'm with Alex here. I'm picking the Chiefs. I've learned one too many times in a row that Mahomes comes alive in the playoff. I mean, he's arguably the best playoff quarterback we have in the league today. I would argue that.
That's fair. I mean, you can't. That's not crazy.
And you're talking about a quarterback who's already been to 3 Super Bowls playing against Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy has never been to the Super Bowl. So, I mean, I think he definitely has the experience advantage. He's been on this stage before, and he knows what it takes to win on this stage. He has 2 rings. And the only time he lost, he ran into the greatest player of all time.
Got blown out.
You know Patrick Mahomes is getting to go territory when people are talking about the NFL being rigged.
Exactly, because that's the exact kind of chatter that Brady was getting in New England.
Yeah.
But, so then I want to talk more about, the Lions and the Ravens. Do you think they can make it back? Is that...
I think the Lions' path is much easier than the Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're talking about a division with really 2 unknown teams. Like Green Bay, we feel pretty confident saying that they might still be really good, but the Bears' future is uncertain. Minnesota's future is definitely uncertain. So it's like their path is a little bit substantially easier than the Ravens that play in a conference with Patrick Mahomes, with Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, and others,
And Kenny Pickett, yeah.
And
definitely,
and Kenny Pickett.
Definitely a tough road. So I think the thing is, Baltimore can.
Mm-hmm.
They obviously have the roster to do it, but it's becoming like a Dallas Cowboys situation where can Lamar show up in the playoffs?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're still waiting on it.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a pretty good game against Houston, but that's also against Houston. There's levels to it. To be the best, you got to beat the best, and clearly the Ravens are not there yet. But I think they can. It's just a matter of whether Lamar is going to show up or not.
But when they played Houston, they had 200-plus rushing yards as a team.
Yeah, and then they only ran the ball 13 times against Kansas City.
Right. So Lamar had a chance to change the narrative about himself in the playoffs. I'm not saying that he is a running back. That's stupid. That's a dumb narrative.
Right.
But he had the chance to throw the ball, win the game, and he threw an interception in triple coverage.
And I mean, watching that play, I sat there and watched it. I was like, I was going, what is he doing?
That was nuts.
Yeah.
But to be fair, I mean, Lamar obviously, I would say, lost in the game, but the play calling also was very bad.
Mm-hmm.
Terrible.
16 rushes when you're the top rushing team in the league.
Exactly.
Is abysmal
you lead the league in rushing, and then you pull that out. It's crazy to me.
Yeah.
On the Detroit side, however, I think they definitely can. They definitely can, but Dan Campbell needs to calm down. Okay.
Yeah.
Ambition is good. Being stupid is not.
Yeah.
It's definitely it's one of those things where it's all season everyone praises Dan Campbell. Oh, he's so gutsy. He always makes the gutsy play. Oh, he does this and that. At some point, you gotta take your points, man.
Yeah.
Because then if you even take one of those two 4th down in their territory, you take the field goal there. That last drive is going for the tie. You don't have to kick that onside kick.
Yeah.
See, I don't really have a problem with those because he's done it all year. You live and die by it. I respect that. But My problem was at the end of the game when he rushed the ball, which towards the
yeah.
end zone, when that would have cost them a timeout if they didn't make it in. They didn't, and so then your season's relying on an onside kick,
Exactly.
which is a terrible coaching
Which
decision.
could have been avoided.
Yeah.
Could have been avoided.
That's
definitely.
true.
But my thing is, yes, I guess he has lived and died by going for it on fourth all year, but this is different. Like, it's the NFC Championship game. Like, all the games he's done that haven't held the weight that this one has, and in my opinion, like, Dan Campbell gambled and lost a chance at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but imagine the narrative about him if he makes
That's
even one of those.
Exactly what I was about to say.
He's got so many.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh,
exactly.
he's got
But that's been
guts.
the narrative all year, and then you see like how fickle it can be when when you mess up. And I don't know. I think it's very interesting. I do real quick want to circle back though to the Lamar topic and like, has he officially earned the label of a playoff choker?
I mean, he's 2-4, and in
Yeah.
at least 3 of those losses, I would put him as a heavy contributor to that loss.
No, most certainly, and they're all pretty much games that he should have won. Like,
Yeah.
he's been on these high level, high power teams, and he just hasn't been able to put it together yet.
And this is the best roster he has by far
Mhm.
in all his playoff performances. So I'm surprised he didn't get it done.
All right, well, when we come back, we're gonna have some NBA talk, highlighting a couple 70-point games.
Only in the forest can you see this. And this. And this. But nothing beats the moment you see that.
Cool!
That's your child's eyes opening up to a world of possibilities.
I didn't know it could do that!
Because one trip to the forest can spark a world of difference.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go, like hiking, canoeing, fishing, or camping. Or create your own adventure with family and friends, and you might just see this. Your moment's out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org. That's discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing, but not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. This breaks my heart, and it's something that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste and gives it to families in need. To help, visit feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to the raid. I'm back here with Paris
Hey,
and Alex.
What's up?
Not a whole lot, Alex. Here to talk NBA though. Luka Doncic, 73 points against the Hawks. What do we think? I mean, I was kind of in awe watching it, especially in the fourth quarter when he was getting damn near triple teamed every play.
Yeah.
Like, it was. I mean, that Atlanta was sending 2 every single time, and he was still finding ways to score.
I mean, it's the Hawks, so it's not the best team, but scoring 70 is an impressive feat,
Yeah.
even if you're playing an AAU team. Like, that is a very impressive performance, and like we were talking about during the break, was one of the greatest shooting performances, just based off percentage-wise. But, I mean, I'm not surprised. I figured he could be one of the people that would score 70.
Oh, yeah.
yeah. I think like you said, 70 points in the NBA is just crazy. 73 points in the NBA is absurd. But history won't remember that it was against the Hawks. They'll just remember that Luka,
That's true.
73.
what team, you would know because you're a Lakers fan, but what team was Kobe playing when he put up 80?
The Raptors.
Oh, okay. Well, both of you answered, so it kind of just
It was the Raptors.
demolished my
He gave
point.
Jalen Rose the business.
Yeah,
jeez.
81 olives.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
But the thing I want to talk about more with the Luka is that 73 points, 7 assists, 76% shooting, not to mention only missed 1 free throw all night, and shot 62% from 3.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah,
this has to be talked about as one of the best offensive performances ever.
That's absurd.
I honestly forgot about the rebound and assist numbers that he put up also in that game.
he also had 10 rebounds.
That may honestly be the most crazy offensive performance
That's absurd.
ever in the NBA, because being 3 assists away from a 70-point triple-double
That would have been
is one of the most
crazy.
insane things I've ever heard.
You imagine being a Raptor and going back to the locker room after that loss. What do you do?
Yeah. So I mean, feel like we got to talk about Embiid dropping 70.
Yep.
You know, not as much, but does break this 76ers single game scoring record.
Yes.
And he did it on like no threes, which is
2
interesting.
threes, which is almost as impressive a feat, but he didn't put up a
21 free
triple-double.
throws.
Yeah. I was gonna say, how many free throws did he?
I
pull?
mean, we all know he's going to get those free throw calls.
It's Embiid, but
God.
he made his quote unquote MVP case, but is he even going to get the chance to make that MVP case now that he is 5 games away from missing the cutoff, the new NBA regulation to win the MVP? I know we talked about it a little bit before the show, but I wasn't a fan of it, but now like I've kind of flipped my stance on it, because if you're missing 17 games in an 82 game season, you don't deserve to be the most valuable player, because you are not valuable to your team. You're not showing up. And in Embiid's case, he's not showing up against Jokic.
Best ability is availability, baby.
Exactly. Exactly. And like I said about the NFL, to be the best, you got to beat the best. And Embiid ducked it against Jokic.
Yeah.
He has notoriously ducked the big games, which is very surprising. I think fans will still be outraged if he doesn't win MVP, honestly, because he's putting up historic numbers. 36 hasn't been averaged in at least a couple years. I don't know if Harden did it in those
Harden
years.
was the last one to do it.
Yeah, but before that, I don't think it had been done in like 10 years. But anyways, Embiid fans will definitely be outraged, and I feel like, sure, you can make the argument that he should be there, but he's still the most valuable player. Like, the 76ers are 3-9 in games he doesn't play. They need him there.
Yeah, but from a pure math standpoint, it's just statistics. I mean, if he's playing only a fraction of the season, if he's not playing, 17 games and another player is, like, let's say Luka does play that much, well, Luka's had more games to maybe decrease his numbers just over the course of, the season. And so he's getting penalized for playing more games.
Yeah.
That's a good
whereas
point.
Embiid's playing less, and so his numbers are going to be higher statistically.
And yeah, so and the thing I wanted to note about that is excluding like lockout seasons and like the COVID seasons, the last NBA player to win an MVP playing less than 65 games was Bill Walton. That was in 1978. Like it's been a long time. And the note I wanted to make with that is, like, you're looking at this from the standpoint that, like, Embiid is looking at a legendary season, numbers wise.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is, like, there's going to be about 20, 21 games that he doesn't play. And sure, you may look at that as, oh, he's valuable because they're losing these games. But like you said, the best ability is availability.
Yes, sir.
And that's really how you got to look at it.
Yeah.
NBA MVP voters have been looking at games played for 30 years, but it's never been like officially recognized.
Yeah.
Well, coming up next, we got some MLB talk and some off-season Hall of Fame chatter.
No word in the English language is less convincing than probably.
Are you sure we should get matching tattoos on our first date?
Sure. We'll probably stay together.
Probably? It's been 23 minutes since I ate. I can probably swim.
You should wait 30 minutes.
Okay, now tell me what to do. Cannonball! Cramp! Oh, I have a cramp.
I can probably hit the green from here.
Probably.
Can I get a mulligan?
Ready to go?
Hey, are you sure you're okay to drive?
Yeah, I'm pretty sober. Yeah, I'm probably okay.
Probably okay isn't okay, especially when it comes to drinking and driving. If you're drinking, call a cab, a car, or a friend. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. A message brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Listen and imagine. It takes 5 seconds to send a text, and for those 5 seconds, you're driving blind. Life is worth more than a text. Stay alive. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, a message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, Noise, and the Ad Council.
All right, welcome back. I'm your host, Logan. I'm back with Paris.
Hey.
And a new one today, Garrett.
What's up, dogs?
All right, so MLB talk. First thing I want to note, Josh Hader recently inked a deal with the Astros. Which version are we going to get out of him? Are we talking San Diego Hader, or are we talking Milwaukee Hader? Because if it's Milwaukee Hader, I would argue Houston has the best bullpen in baseball.
I wouldn't disagree with you.
Yeah.
I'd say if Hader puts up Milwaukee numbers in Houston, they would be a strong favorite going into next season.
Yeah.
That's a tough bullpen. That is a really tough bullpen.
Having to go through, in these late innings, Brian Abreu, Josh Hader, Ryan Presley.
Ooh. That 7, 8, 9, that's brutal.
That's crazy. I mean, Astros starters can just
if you get
take the night off after the sixth inning.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude. I mean, and it was a big deal too. Like how much money
I know it was 5 years.
It's
right?
a 5-year, $95 million deal. It's the highest pay. Hader's now the highest paid relief pitcher. That doesn't include any deferrals in his contract. I think there's somebody. I can't remember who it is. There's some relief pitcher has like a 6-year, $100-something or $100 million deal, but he's deferred like $20 million of it.
Does he play for the Dodgers?
Yeah. He might as well at this point.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me. That's crazy.
No, I think this is just another example of Houston being Houston during the offseason, and it's Houston generally is whatever big moves the Dodgers and the Yankees don't make, Houston tends to snatch those up.
Yep.
I feel like that's how Houston plays the free agent market.
I agree.
So looking at the Hall of Fame, Beltre, Mauer, and Helton all got in. Beltre and Mauer, I fully expected. I think
absolutely
they fully deserved it. I thought it would take another year on the ballot for Helton, but I think he would get in.
Mm-hmm.
I think he deserves it, but I thought it would take him a little longer.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
What about the future? Like, what about the future Hall of Famers? Because I have a couple written down that I think are locks, and then I have a couple that might be some questionable ones. But Ichiro, I think he'll be first ballot next year. I feel like that'd be disrespectful not to.
Yeah,
I would absolutely be disrespectful not to put him in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
and I think Billy Wagner finally gets in next year. I think he's been on the ballot long enough. He was so close this year.
Yeah,
he was right there. And then so even looking further past that, like someone like Andrew Jones, I think it may take a few years, but I think he will get there.
Mm-hmm.
And then like CC Sabathia.
Okay.
I see CC Sabathia making it in there.
CC Sabathia, possible first ballot, but I don't think he's got the credentials to be first ballot.
I don't know if I'd say first, but he's for sure going to be in the Yankees Hall of Fame. I mean, I just can't imagine CC Sabathia not in pinstripes.
Exactly. I mean, I can imagine him in the Milwaukee uniform, man. More pinstripes. Like when you think CC Sabathia, you think pinstripes.
Yeah.
And then the other one I have written down is Chase Utley. I think he's the longest shot out of this, but I think he'll get in. It's just going to take him like a 7-8 year kind of deal. Maybe earlier than that. I don't know. And then maybe David Wright.
What current players do you? Well, you know what? Hey, we're running out of time.
Joey Votto,
Hall of Fame. Let's go.
And with that, we're going to go ahead and wrap up the show. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Thank you for listening to The Raid. We'll be back next Tuesday, but in the meantime, check out our other friends' podcasts over at the Norse Benchwarmers, also on Tuesdays, and the Not So Small Talk Show on Thursdays. Again, you were listening to The Raid.